Today we will be learning what a narrative story is and also the necessary components to make it complete. There are 4 basic types of narrative stories. They are myth, legend, fantasy, and adventure. The main purpose of a narrative story is to tell it in detail. They also usually give explanations of the unknown. Myths are stories that are usually based upon historical events, but they can't be proven true. Many of these occur in religion, and one popular one is Noah's Ark. These myths seem kind of unrealistic, but we have no way of proving them false. Legends, much like myths, come from the past and can't be verified. However, legends don't usually come up in religious settings. Some legends you may be familiar with are Robin Hood and King Arthur. A fantasy, the third type of narrative story, is typically extremely far-fetched. They may occur in outer space or in make-believe worlds. The people and the actions are unrealistic and not probable. Some popular fantasy stories are Harry Potter and the Wizard of Oz. Lastly, there are adventure stories. This category is for those stories that are thrilling and exciting, and the characters are usually fearless heroes. An old but classic example of an adventure is Indiana Jones. Now let's take a look at what you'll need to write a narrative story. First, you'll handwrite a draft of your story, so you'll need a notebook paper and a pen or pencil. After that's been completed, you'll exchange stories with a classmate who will give you feedback on what was good about your story and what can make it better. Once the corrections have been made, you'll type your final draft. Within your story, there must be 4 clear elements. These are plot, setting, characters, and theme. They must be well related but easily identifiable. Setting is the environment and time period of your story. It sets the mood. One example of setting may be 1908 in Madrid, Spain. Characters, as you may know, are the people, animals, or creatures, etc. that exist and act out your story. There's a main character, which the story revolves around, and helping characters that support the story. Theme is the main point of your story. Basically, what is it about? Is it about love, death, revenge, or is it just for a thrill? Plot is the storyline. In other words, it is your outline or basic idea of what happens in the story. Ask yourself, what's the big picture? To get started, think of one of your personal favorite stories. Which category does it fall in? You may want to choose that category for writing your own story because it will interest you the most. Don't be afraid to use your imagination and get creative. Before your final draft is turned in, make sure you have a category, whether it is adventure, fantasy, myth, or legend. It must also have a clear setting, plot, theme, and characters. As far as requirements go, you will need to make sure your story is at least 1 page, 12-point, double-spaced, and typed. It can be no longer than 2 pages double-spaced. Use proper paragraph format and have a clear introduction and conclusion, and get started.